Welcome to Two Trees, better than a wet napkin.
We know that some of you have friends that are getting married soon, and you're really anxious about whether or not you're going to get invited.
How do you ensure that you get to go to the weddings that you want to go to? Numero uno is assumption. As soon as you stage a conversation with them. When they mention their wedding, assume that you're already invited. That way, they are the ones who have to bound over the social hurdle of not inviting you, rather than the other way around. You might ask a question like, oh, what date should I save?
Who am I sitting with at the table?
Who will I be rooming with at the hotel?
I know I'm not the best man, but where in the lineup should I stand?
Do you want me to check through all of your wedding registry and make sure that you're getting the correct gifts and nobody's doubling down?
Now, another way that you can assure that you will receive an invitation to a wedding, never underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned guilt trip. Start bringing things up that you've done for them in the past.
Small favors.
Little gifts.
Qualities of yourself that they couldn't do without.
Qualities of yourself that you couldn't do without. Now, you might be thinking to myself, I haven't done anything for this person. Doesn't matter. You just start doing things. Now, if these other two things don't work, there's one final approach that you can take.
Who cares about the wedding?
The bride.
The groom is the vulnerable one.
Convince him that you need to be at this wedding.
Offer your services like an old-timey courtesan.
A minstrel act, if you will. A magic show. Spontaneous speech giver. You're a one-man flash mob. Anything to convince the groom that you being there will make the wedding more exciting. Now, the bride cannot know about this.
You need to convince him that this is a secret surprise that the bride will love, and it will make her day. And you will have the wedding of her dreams.
And ours. Here.
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
This episode has been brought to you by
E. coli.
Is that right?
No, E. coli.
Right. Now, you may be wondering where we have been the past year and a half.
Kyle and I regrouped for a creative sabbatical. Some of the feedback that we'd been receiving were that the episodes were low quality.
For instance, we might have had an episode that was filmed completely out of focus. So my first thought is owl guy. Clear owl guy.
One of us was cut off screen for an entire episode. So they drew the wolf nose.
The characters indistinguishable from each other because they were us with mustaches on.
But no longer. We wanted to overcome our incompetent inclinations to deliver the best product possible to you.
This time, we are faster, smarter, slightly more attractive,
and better psychologically adjusted. They weren't. In fact, the last year and a half had been a total and complete disaster. It all started when Douglas received an official copy of his birth certificate. He found out that he was indeed 24 instead of 22, 2 years older than his actual age. The news made him a little unsettled. Fearing the literary fatalism that he had always read about in books, he dropped all association with Two Trees.
Is that gray?
It wasn't. The last straw was the advent of
Glitter sponge.
the glitter sponge when it hit the market, a PR initiative Kyle and Doug had used to assuage viewers after poor ratings. The sponge failed to absorb any glitter and instead simply spread it around in ever-widening circles. User feedback demonstrated that customers often confused glitter sponges with normal sponges. Fearing his old soul could never be young again, Doug abandoned Two Trees and set sail for the Southeast Asian nation of Thailand. He studied the ancient meditative arts of Japanese tea ceremonies and invented his own new world religion, Taoist Mugatu. He had a lot of downtime. After a fearful confrontation in a less than controlled Thai zoo, Doug left for his old home. His own newly found religion went with him. Kyle, meanwhile, caught between passion and the only meaningful thing he'd had in his life so far, decided to keep Two Trees going. Kyle's attempts to perform the show as a one-man act went
Welcome to
decently. He soon realized his talents were only complementary and not supplementary, a reference for those of you who love geometry. In order to fill Doug's absence, Kyle chose a new partner, Stormtrooper Steve.
Welcome to Two Trees. So Steve, sprinklers, am I right? Fun to run through, or fun to put on your neighbor's porch every morning.
Kyle's new partnership with his inanimate friend soon began to encroach upon his mental fortitude.
Listen, Steve, recycling is not going anywhere, okay? We have to live with the fact that we have to have 2 trash cans everywhere we go. It's not going anywhere like Blockbuster or Bono. Now listen, don't be so afraid of this, okay? You out of everybody should not be afraid of recycling.
Meanwhile, Doug's allegiance to his newfound friend Molten soon put him in a similar, if not exactly the same, predicament.
We're not going back to civilization. You don't belong there any more than I do. Sure, you were created by it. We both were in some ways. We're nothing but an expanse and an essence. That's all. All right. I think we've had enough. What do you want to talk about?
Kyle's blossoming dream came to an abrupt halt when the episodes were taken down from the World Wide Web for copyright infringement for the use of a song from a band that will remain unnamed.
You're a criminal.
Hoping to visually depict the inward disfigurement of his mortal soul, Kyle smeared dirt on his face before turning himself in.
You deserve this. This is who you are now. Phil!
With the weight of the world and his own fabricated guilt on his shoulders, he went to the local district police station to put himself in custody. Once in the joint, he ran into notorious criminal, Uncle Gus. Mistaking him for his actual uncle, Kyle joined his gang and escaped with Uncle Gus the following morning.
Doug?
Carl?
No, it's me, Kyle.
What are you doing in the woods?
What are you doing with a basketball? And my rug.
Nothing. You look awful.
Thanks.
Kyle, after I discovered I was 2 years older than my actual age, 24 instead of 22, I realized life's not worth living unless you do what you want. I've traveled far and wide, I've discovered myself, scratched a few things off my bucket list.
Doug, what happened to us? A year ago I had like 5 jobs and I've just slowly been quitting all of them. I just got out of prison.
Wait, what?
What?
I feel like I've been lost.
If only we had some sort of sign.
I know.
Maybe a different sign.
Different sign.
I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm the space invader.
Union soared in the sky. The two were united again. A new start for the same beginning. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of
Two Trees.
Next time on Two Trees, Bystander Bill faces a new challenge from an old rival.
No, 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 no!